So, not to leave everybody hanging, we got to tell you exactly what's going on here. I have my buddy Arnie Tomans. I think this is an 82. I honestly am not 100% on the year, guys. Does it really matter? Does it really matter? Does it say in the door of these old boys? 85, 1185. So this is an 85 Ford LTD, which is a box top Fox, which is basically a Fairmont with a different body. And Arnie has already done the police package thing that Arnie does. And it has a cross-country racing air dam going on. It has a police brush bar on here. And a bunch of other stuff already going on. He brought over the original plan for this thing. He had a spare 6-liter, like an aluminum 6-liter out of a G8 or an L99 or an L76 or an L77. You get the idea. He had that. He had this 4L60E. He had this 6L80E. He had a Holley Terminator setup. He had long tubes. He has all sorts of stuff. And I was just going to make this car drivable and done and hand it over and be like, here you go. It's done. It drives. We had some fun with it. We made some videos for Sloppy. Everybody gets to see a box top Fox. And we're done, right? It also has P71 Crown Vic wheels. I don't know if there's like a spacer in here or something custom, but they look like they were made to go on here, but oldfords.com kind of stuff going on. So I got a pile of parts. I have Holley Terminator, full drive-by-wire 80E, 60E, Terminator, transmission, etc. I got a 2015 L83, which is an aluminum direct injected 5.3, and this has like 20,000 miles or less on it. So we got this guy. And then in this box, which I already showed, is the Holley Terminator X-Max for the LT GDI early drive-by-wire with trans control. And to top that off, I figured it would be fun to put a 6L80E in the car. And a lot of people have a lot of questions, and that's fine. Does Holley control the 6-speed auto? No, but we're going to try about 5 different ways to get around that. First one being my buddy LSX Specialties and I went back and forth, and he built a custom minimized harness that has power, ground, 6L80E connector, and it has a bunch of wires to steal things like mass air meter, TPS, crank signal, a bunch of other stuff. He labeled it all. So what we're gonna do is try to get this guy to shift this guy with the stock computer E38 piggyback to shift the trans. So we're gonna do that right away, and we're gonna see if that's cost effective. My other grand idea is I have friends who are heavily into the CAN bus stuff, and I am trying to force them by poking them with a stick continually to take known Holley language and convert it to known GM language and make this guy do its thing. Basically, this transmission shifts over CAN bus. And you need to generate all the happy pixies. Am I channeling my inner AVE for you guys enough? Channel your inner pixies to make the Holley, that Holley box, send its Holley CAN bus signals through a CAN bus box, the Holley on this side, GM on this side, and it spits it out into the transmission, and it goes, hey, everything looks good, and it shifts. So there's a little bit of trickery there. We're going to work on that. I would like to do all 3 to 5 of these things and see how well they work and give everybody options for stuff they have. Blah, 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 blah. And then this car has a solid rear axle, and at the time we were brainstorming all of this, and Holley was like, hey, we can send you an early DI box. And I was like, I don't know what I'll put it in. And then I was like, hey, Arnie, you want to do direct injected? And he's like, I'm in. And then I'm like, do you want to go nuts and do DI and 6L80 test bed? And he's like, yeah. At the same time, my buddy Troy Baum was selling a Cobra IRS. I'm like, you want to make an aluminum direct injected Hollied 5.3'd 6L80E'd IRS 82, 84, 85 LTD? And he's like, yes, I want to do all of that. So the IRS came and went. Someone else purchased it. So what we have here is what I said to Arnie is, you know, I don't want to put too many things on my plate. So there's the 60E, because this is only going to be about 350 horsepower probably with the headers and a tune. It would be amazing if it does more than that. There's a 60E that works. It's done. It's rebuilt. That can be put in, no problem. And the Holly can control it, no problem. And I have a harness for the trans, no problem. So that's our fallback, is that guy plugs into this guy and this guy, no problem. But we would really like to see this guy work. So that's what we're going to try first. And then once this is working with the LSX Specialties stuff, and we learn and we get some more stuff rolling, this thing will be ready for the CAN bus translation guy. And we're going to try all of that. And then on top of that, we can do a Cobra IRS at some point, any point later. Because, as you know, Arnie is somewhat of a road rally enthusiast with multiple coast-to-coast records on multiple platforms. So, 6-speed, tap-up, shifted, tap-up, tap-down, shifted. This car already has a 273 rear gear, meant to go fast. And that is ideal and remarkably appropriate for a 6L80E, because most of the 6L80E cars have a 290 gear ratio, and this has probably a tiny bit shorter tire than those larger cars like a G8 or a Camaro. So that makes this very appropriate to use with the 273 and the 6-speed, and it'll be just cool to be able to choose all those gears with the little, I think we're going to call Spear Tech. And I'm going to get their floor shifter with the paddle, the tap up, tap down on the floor shifter. Do all that at once. Make sure I can wire it into the stock PCM that Andy gave me. I'm going to hit them up. And then from there on, all the other things come into play, right? But look how incredibly nice this is. I'm going to lower it. I mean, what I had to do is make room to take this motor out and disassemble it. And we built a play set for my little guy. And it was all in here the other day. So I shoved everything for this car under the car and put the car in the air. But yeah, you can see this thing is just, it is mint. I mean, the seat's down pretty far because we were getting it out of the trailer. But yeah, check out those seats. Those things nice or what? The hood makes that tiny squeaky noise. How many miles are on it, guys? I can't see from here. It's pretty low. I think it's like 30 or 50,000. And then I have to ask my buddy I bought this from, I think this engine only has, it has less than 30. It might only be 9,600, but it's probably 20,000. Part of my brain wants to say this thing only has 9,600 miles. The only difficulties here is I just did a mail time. Dirty Dingo sent me stuff to Fab Mounts, so I think I'm going to take these stock mounts, and I have some leftover cage assembly here from holding the lift pallet together. I'm going to make my own roller boy mounts like I have for the aluminum Summit stroker motor. Has some nice purchased ones with wheels on them. I think I'm going to make my own wheelie boy and wheel this around. My issue is this motor did not come with an alternator, but I don't know if I can successfully excite a Gen 5 alternator correctly anyway. Do you guys know if a Gen 3 or a Gen 4 4-pin will fit this? I think I have one over here, but it may be a car mount. I'm going to have to see how that goes and how it fits. I need an alternator. It needs to line up. Other than that, it has the water pump. It has the crank. There's no power steering. These have electric steering, I think. One of the neat things I would like to do, I'll probably just do no power steering for now. What I've always wanted to do was do like a Toyota Corolla electric power steering column in a Fox. And here is my chance. So I might jump in on that also. There's a lot going on. If you guys have any ideas or know some things, let me know. for now, it's just going to be all motor. The plan is to make like 3 and change and drive it around all motor while Holly works out the camshaft upgrade, and then we're probably going to do that, whatever everybody does, and Holly has to characterize it, the 38% pump lobe. That would be cool to do also. It'll just be flat out cool to have a 6L80E DI53 LTD also. So that's what we're working on. That's what we're doing. That's what's happening. Very excited about it. Man, there's a lot of glare off those lights. I apologize. So that's where we're going. This guy, that guy, and this guy right here. So hope you all enjoy the nice longer introduction for this. Let me know what you think, but that's where we're going. All of this stuff into that stuff. And hope it all goes well. And hope all of our 6-speed aspirations go well. And the car will be awesome and everything else. So that's it.